I don't know about you, but it feels like yesterday Daggerheart came out. We've played it, you've played it, we love it, we hope you love it. The game is getting so much positive feedback. But apparently that's not enough for Darrington Press because they released even more content. I woke up today like, holy crap, what is this, Christmas morning? So many more classes, subclasses, ancestries, and communities to play with. So I had to pop out here and make this video for you guys. We're gonna go through all the fun stuff that came out on the Void today, one by one, talk about our thoughts, and talk about how you can bring them into your game. Let's go. The first thing we gotta talk about is the new Witch class. The Witch class are magical practitioners who commune with the forces of nature and entities from realms beyond. Witches call forth their power through craft, rituals, incantations, herbs, stones, candles, and other tools to enact their will and conjure powerful spells. Their features are Witch's Charm. When you or an ally within far range rolls a failure, you could spend 3 hope to change into a success with fear instead. Their next feature is Hex. When a creature causes you or an ally within close range to mark any number of hit points, you can mark a stress to hex them. While hexed, they gain a penalty to their damage thresholds equal to your spellcast trait, and a penalty to their difficulty equal to your tier. You can only have 1 target hexed at a time. And their last feature is Commune. During a long rest, you can commune with any entity, an ancestor, a deity, a spirit, aspect of nature, etc. Ask them a question, then roll 4d6. If any of the dice have matching values, reference the chart below for the effect. If there are multiple matches, you get more than 1 effect. On a 6, you witness a relevant scene play out. 5, you see a vision relevant to the answer. 4, you hear sounds relevant to the answer. 3, you feel sensations relevant to the answer. 2, you smell an odor relevant to the answer. And 1, you taste a flavor relevant to the answer. I mean, that's badass in its own, right? Who hasn't been dying to play a witch? Well, it's not just a witch because there are 2 subclasses, the Hedge Witch and the Moon Witch. Okay, so starting with the Hedge Witch. The Hedge Witch is cool. They are in touch with nature. So all of their abilities have to do with nature. One of their abilities is they can see the last few moments of dead bodies near them. Or they can draw a circle on the ground and give them and their allies bonuses inside that circle. Pretty good bonuses in my opinion, +4s around the board. And their first ability actually lets them protect an ally when an ally would be damaged. So they use nature to protect themselves and give themselves and their allies bonuses. And the Moon Witch is a little bit more selfish. The Moon Witch uses the moon to gain power to boost themselves. They can change any part about their appearance through the moon's energy. They can give themselves certain bonuses depending on what lunar cycle it is. Okay, last but not least, they get some plus bonuses when in combat. So if they were to get hit in moonlight, they can force the enemy to mark a stress. And they get a +1 bonus to their spell casting modifier. So basically, you and the moon, best buds. Okay, the witch sounds pretty cool, right? Those subclasses sound pretty cool, but they probably gotta use some other domains we've seen before, right? Nope! They get their own domain, and it's called Dread. Think of anything creepy that it would be in this domain. The whole domain focuses on all the stuff you'd want to play during Halloween is right in this domain. I can't wait to get started playing a witch. But it's not just the witch, right? We also have another class. Oh, what's that? That's right, it's called the Assassin. Oh. Okay, next we have the Assassins. The Assassins are masters in the art of slipping past their opponent's defenses to inflict terrible pain and deadly strikes. When an assassin marks someone for death, they pursue their prey with unwavering intent. The features of the assassin are grim resolve, spend 3 hope, to clear 2 stress. The next one is ambush. When you move into melee and make a successful weapon attack, you can mark a stress to force the target to make a reaction roll with a difficulty equal to 10 plus your level. On a failure, increase the damage of your attack by a number of d6 equal to your tier. And last but not least, get in and out. Spend a hope to ask the GM for either a quick or inconspicuous way into or out of a building or structure you can see. The next roll you make that capitalizes on this information has advantage. The assassin sounds so much fun. It differs from the rogue because it wants you to run into combat, stab, 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 right? And then dip back out. And there's nice ways to kind of trade hope for more stress and whatnot. And I also love how it not only focuses on the fact that an assassin would be good at killing, but they also would be good at infiltrating places without being seen and kind of making a blueprint to follow for the rest of your group. You are a tactician, not just a really good murderer. And the subclasses are really fun. There's the Executioner's Guild and the Poisoner's Guild. The Executioner's Guild is exactly what you think. You kill, and you kill really well. You do more damage up front when you first attack an opponent, and after you deal damage, you get a plus to your evasion to make you even better at slipping in and out. And then at your final form, as an Executioner Assassin, you could just choose to hit instead of miss, basically. Really fun. You can only do it once per long rest, so it's not too OP, but you're really good at killing. The second one is the Poisoner's Guild. And at each third tier of this guild, you gain different poisons that you can concoct and add to your weapon attacks. So at the first level, you can add damage to your attack, you can have a permanent minus to the thresholds of an enemy, and they only get deadlier and more creative from there. I love the Poisoner's Guild. I thought I would love the Executioner more, but the Poisoner's Guild is so fun. The Assassin also uses the Midnight and the Blade domains. They sadly don't get their own, but it's okay, because we still have Dread with the Witch. These 2 subclasses are awesome. And this would be enough of an update, but Daring to Press went further. Let's get into the Ancestries. All right, we have 6 new Ancestries to go over, starting with the Earthkin. The Earthkin are descended from the Earth Elementals. They are humanoids whose bodies are a combination of flesh and earth. You gain bonuses to your damage thresholds because of your tough skin, and you can disrupt the earth beneath you as you attack, causing your enemies to be restrained and damaged. Next, we have the Tidekin. Tidekin are descended from water elementals. They are humanoids whose bodies are a combination of flesh and water. Once per session, you can use nearby water to heal an ally, and you can also pull water from a nearby source to damage opponents nearby. Emberkin. Emberkin are descended from fire elementals. I'm sensing a pattern here. They are humanoids whose bodies are a combination of flesh and fire. You can literally flame on and light yourself ablaze, causing any enemies in melee range of you to mark a stress. And you can shoot fire projectiles causing damage at enemies. Who doesn't want to do that? Last of the Genasi, I mean Ancestries, is the Skykin. Skykin are descended from air elementals. They are humanoids whose bodies are a combination of flesh and air. Once per rest, you can call upon the wind to make a really long jump, taking you anywhere in very far range. Very nice get out of jail free card. And you can also conjure the wind to make a wind attack at an enemy. After that, we have the Aetheris. Aetheris are humanoids who possess glowing auras and wings they can conjure at will. They are the descendants of Celestials from the Hallows above. Their one ability is Hallowed Soul. When you gain a hope, you can spend that hope to clear a stress. And you can also sprout wings and fly, obviously. Last but not least is the Gnome. Gnomes are small humanoids, most easily recognized by their dense musculature, long arms, and large facial features. They have nimble fingers that when you make a finesse roll, you can spend 2 hope to reroll your hope die. and magical sense. You can sense the presence of magical creatures, and you have advantage on rolls to track or locate creatures with magical abilities. Okay, so I will come out and say that these are based off of D&D races. I mean, we have the 4 different Genasis, love them. Who doesn't want to play as an airbender or a firebender? Combined with the elementalist druid, you can really be an avatar. It plays much better than any form D&D ever tried to play the avatar. This is the definitive way to play the avatar. The gnome and the celestial descendants are also based off of D&D races. I love seeing them change it up when they bring it to Daggerheart though. These abilities are nothing like the ones you have in D&D, so I'll give that to them, but I did appreciate the originality that came with the new classes and subclasses. But overall, more Ancestries is good, and you can still mix and match them, picking your favorite one of the 2 features an Ancestry gives, and mixing it with another to make your own mixed ancestry. But that's not all, because we got some communities to go through, and then we're done. Okay, now we got communities, last but not least. And I gotta say, I love Daggerheart. I love all these different puzzle pieces you put together and how much customization there is to make the character you want. So let's start with the first one, Hearthborn. Hearthborn come from humble origins, having lived in a small village or the countryside. They gain the close-knit ability. When you help an ally, you can instead spend 2 hope to make the advantage die a D10 instead of a D6. Then we have Reborn. You were once a member of another community, but you can no longer remember it. Found Family. Once per session, you could spend a hope to use an ally's community ability. When you do, your ally gains a hope. At any point when you've discovered the community you were once a part of, you can join that new community, trading in this card for that one. Oh my God, we'll talk about this later. I love this one so much. Warborn. Being part of a Warborn community means you come from a place that is or was ravaged by war. You have the Brave Face ability. Once per rest, you can mark 2 stress instead of an armor slot to reduce incoming damage by 1 threshold. I wish that was more than once per rest, but that's okay. The next one is Duneborn. Being part of the Duneborn community means you are the Lisan al-Gaib. Means you've made a home among the shifting sands and arid climate of the desert. You have the Oasis feature. Through the heat of the day and the cold of the night, you know how to take care of your people. Once per rest, during a moment of calm, you can clear a stress on all allies within very close range, or clear a hit point on all allies within very close range. The next one is Freeborn. Being part of a Freeborn community means you're from a collective that lived under tyrannical rule and is now liberated. You have the Unbound feature. Once per session, when you make an action roll with fear, you can instead change it to a roll with hope. Incredibly powerful. Changing fear to hope is always powerful. And last but not least, Frostborn. Being part of a Frostborn community means you come from a place of snow and ice. You have the Long Winter feature. You know how to make resources last. Once per long rest, when you choose to repair all armor, you can also repair an ally's armor up to half their base armor score. Now, these are all really exciting communities. I wish they were all a little bit more balanced, and these are in beta. That's what the Void is. They put these different things out so the community can try them and give feedback. So I definitely will be giving feedback after I play them. But it seems like some are way more powerful than others, like having the ability to choose a friend's community feature in the party. Anybody in the party, you can use their community feature as your own. I mean, that's phenomenal. The amount of range you have compared to everyone else in your party is kind of crazy, but we'll have to see how it works out. I love this update. I love the Void. I love Daggerheart. I can't wait to play these and see how they go. Let me know what you think of these, if you use these in your game, or if you're going to be giving feedback, or if you're excited, or if you're loving Daggerheart. This is Wither and Bloom Studios. I'm Rich, a core creator here. We put out videos multiple times a week, and please check out our Daggerheart live stream on July 1st next week. Bye guys, thanks for tuning in.